Before I continue, we wish to thank our family, namely the Nelsons, Friedman, and Toll contingent for being here. Some of them have traveled very far. Last night I covered all the different areas, and we actually have something like 9 states that people have traveled in from. Also, I want to welcome and thank the Huffs for also putting this wonderful thing together for us. I wanted to pick out some memories of Todd, and it's very hard to settle on certain things, and last night at the prenuptial we had to come up with certain things. But one of the things that I thought showed Todd was, Todd has always been very much into loving animals. And when we had a vacation home in Wisconsin, my lovely wife was playing with a bird's nest over the water, filled with many little baby birds, half-hatched, some in, some out, and the whole thing tumbled into the middle of the lake. With that, my son, Super Todd, before he could say a word, stripped off all his clothing and dove in to save every little baby bird. Actually, our neighbors appreciated him a lot more than you are right now. So. My mother was a very gifted artist, and she worked with Todd to try to pass on some of these wonderful gifts that she had. And Todd illustrated a book for one of his school projects. And he did such an excellent job that the school put it right up front for everybody to see. And to this day, we really wanted to get it back, and they won't give it to us. They have kept it to show other students in the class. One of the reasons that I'm dominating the microphone is my wife really does not like to speak in public, and she's a little shy, so you're going to have to put up with me for a little while. One wonderful memory I have with Todd was we all went to Las Vegas, and this is many years ago, and we were staying up late one evening watching the magician show Siegfried and Roy. And it was quite late by the time we got to bed. The next morning, basically Todd and I are early birds, and we were a little bit restless, so we decided to go for a long walk down the main drag. Well, at 8:30 in the morning in Las Vegas, it consisted of Todd and myself. Everyone is still basically in bed. A little background in Todd's humor. Todd was very much in love with Rodney Dangerfield at that time, who is in a movie, Caddyshack. And I had to watch the movie at least 2 or 3 times with Todd because it's just wonderful to watch him watching me to make sure I laugh at every one of the corny lines that Rodney Dangerfield would come up with. Well, we're walking down the middle of the strip in Vegas, and as we're walking along, an individual comes walking right past us, and I'm flabbergasted, but I can't remember his name, so I said to Todd, who was not looking, I said, "Todd, your favorite comedian just walked right past us." And he said, "Who?" And I said, "You know that guy that's in the movie?" And he says, "Rodney Dangerfield?" And I said, "Yeah." "Dad, you're crazy." He says, "That's not Rodney Dangerfield." I said, "Okay, Todd, but we don't want to pass this up." So I yelled out at the top of my voice, "Mr. Dangerfield!" He totally ignored us and kept on walking. So with one last thing, I yelled again and I said, "Rodney Dangerfield, your favorite fan is here and you're really going to disappoint him." There's silence again, he keeps walking, and then all of a sudden, Rodney turns around, and you'll have to excuse me, but gave Todd one of these great big, with his bulging eyes, and Todd was in absolute heaven. So this was something that we just talk about all the time and have really enjoyed. Todd, I wish I could see you a little better, you and Jenny over there. One of the things that we were very impressed with is Todd has always been a very romantic individual. And when we found out the details of how he proposed to Jenny, We were quite impressed. He took her down to a moonlight dinner down at Navy Pier. And after the dinner, he has a lot more guts than I do, because as they're walking down this very crowded pier after dinner, a very romantic dinner I've been told, Todd in the middle of the strip gets down on his one knee and proposes to Jenny in the middle. Thank God Jenny accepted. And at the same time, there were a lot of people all around him who couldn't believe what were taking place and congratulated them and felt that they were part of the same thing. Then they proceeded to make the phone calls and tell us about it. But I thought it was a unique way of doing it. We wanted to give you a piece of advice, and this is something that I told you earlier that was very important. My wife and I have great communication, and communication is what keeps marriages together. And when Todd came to us for ideas, because he had to buy a present, this is just like a week ago, and he wanted to get a present for the groomsmen, I believe they're called, and he's thinking of all these various things that he could buy. And Barry tells me that he was considering getting the guys satin drawers. Well, I was flabbergasted, and I made her repeat this many, many times, and she can't believe I'm telling this story. But I'm thinking to myself, what do these men want with satin drawers? And you'll have no idea how long this went back and forth. Well, because of our great communication skills, we're able to put it together, because basically what she had said to me and to Todd was, don't just settle on something useless, because then it'll just sit in drawers. Excuse me, I got it wrong. Because then it'll just sit in drawers. Corny but true. So much for communication. Jenny, we love Todd very much, but there's ample room in our heart to welcome you and your family. We thank Jennifer's family for their kindness and generosity. We wish you a very happy future together and very proud of you both. In welcoming Jennifer into our family, we extend our welcome to her family. May we all be united and blessed in this wonderful union. L'chaim, and I gotta find my glass somewhere here. Not without it.
Thank you very much.
don't know me, I'm Jennifer's older brother, Matthew. As her big brother, I've known Jenny since the day she was born. Of course, she wasn't too interesting right away. She slept most of the time. My earliest memory of Jenny actually being awake involved waking up one morning to the enticing aroma of my mother's breakfast, running downstairs only to discover this presence at the breakfast table devouring my pancakes. Needless to say, for a few years thereafter, I didn't keep too secretive my desire to squish her with a pillow, but somewhere around the end of high school, I realized I was glad I hadn't. I began to understand what a blessing Jenny was to my life. She's been there to drive me and to encourage me, and at the same time to remind me to keep my ambition in check and to remember the value of my family and the ones I love. Jenny, when I look at you today, it's tough for me to believe that you're now a married woman, but nonetheless, I'm so very proud of you for all that you've become and for this great guy that you've chosen to share the rest of your life with. Todd, I haven't known you for all of your life, but I've known you for long enough to know how kind, caring, and devoted you are. I know that this is the point in the evening where everyone expects me as the older brother to get up here and say something menacing or intimidating about the various things that are going to happen to Todd if you should ever hurt my sister. I don't think it's going to be necessary, though, because if Todd were that kind of guy, he wouldn't be here today. Todd, I'm very happy to consider you a member of my family, and I consider myself fortunate to have a lifetime to get to know you better. They say that the value of marriage is that not so much that adults produce children, but rather that children produce adults. And I think that's very much true here today. Jenny, I look at you today and I realize that you're not my baby sister anymore. You and Todd are adults starting out together with the brightest of futures ahead of you. So with that, I'd like us all to raise our glasses and toast to the bride and groom, to Jennifer and Todd, l'chaim. Before I sit down, I also just want to say thank you to my parents, Raymond and Linda, for a wonderful dinner this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matt.
First, I'd like to say,
No.
okay. Oh, yeah. A while back, I actually asked one of my friends for a little help for writing the speech. And they said there's 3 things that you need to remember. 1, to say something funny. 2, to be sincere. And 3, to leave before you start stuttering. So I'm going to try it out. You guys can let me know what happens. First, I'd like to thank everybody that attended today. This is a beautiful occasion. The bridesmaids, you guys absolutely look absolutely terrific. I would like to also thank the bridesmaids for making sure Jenny did not go against her better judgment and showed up to this wonderful occasion. As everyone's aware, Todd is my twin brother. I have known him for almost 26 years. We have gone way back. And biggest thing that I've noticed between Todd and Jenny, I mean, this guy here, it's hard living with him for almost 25 years. And the biggest thing was when he met Jenny. I've never seen a smile on his face that I do today. He has never been happier as he has been with Jenny. And Jenny, I wish you the best because of that. Now, Todd, now I got to talk a little bit more about you. I decided to break it up into 3 different categories for him. First, as everyone has stated today, as well as the rehearsal dinner, he is very intelligent. I have used him day in, day out, growing up, trying to get through school. I was was always the one. I'd bring home a C. My parents would give me money and say congratulations. Todd would get a B+. He was grounded. Yes, it's true. Unfortunately, when he got to college, he realized that I could do it, and then he started yelling at my parents because I actually ended up doing well. He's very intelligent, as we're all aware. If you're on computers, he's helped out all my friends, myself, building them. If you do not know, it's called thinktodd.com. After rehearsal dinner, usually people go home tired, a little tipsy, and what did he do last night? He spent 2 hours putting up all the pictures from last night on the computer. He's real into business in grade school. He was actually attending this called DECA, which is a business class where you actually compete against people all over the U.S. And he ended up winning it and going to nationals. Now, we used to compete all the time, and I still remember for regionals before we went to be able to go to, I forgot where it was, either New York or somewhere, we had to sell a product and put it on a poster board. Well, then there's Todd, got great reviews. I think he got like second or third place. And then there was me, selling a product. I put on a poster. I forgot to put where to buy the product and the phone number to call them. But once again, he was there for me while everyone, my friends over there that made fun of me, he was there to back me up. So thank you, Todd. He also won Honor Society in high school. He was all in the GP classes and succeeded completely and did an extremely great job. Second category, the caring side of him. You will never find a guy like him. Whenever I was down, had problems, women advice, I was always there to talk to him. I don't know if it ever worked, but hey, it's worth a try. I was always the one to kind of get in trouble. I was always had Todd to back me up, take care of me. For example, as you guys know, we had a bachelor party. We went to New Orleans. Usually, it's the bachelor who gets drunk, tipsy, can't walk down the stairs. At the end of the night, he wakes up, I think 4:30, 5 o'clock, wanting to know where I was. He calls me up, I call him, I go, I have absolutely no idea. I'm on a corner, having a good time. He puts on his clothes, he comes out, his own bachelor party, and comes and gets me, takes home, makes sure I go into the covers. Another great time too, and he'll always remember that, we actually, at University of Illinois, I went to visit him. If you're not aware of Todd as well, sometimes he gets a little bit anal. And a big example too is, I think I owed him $1, and I refused to give him the $1. So we went back and forth, until finally we started fighting each other. Now, growing up, you know, twins get in fights, we don't punch each other. Well, all of a sudden, he winds up and jacks me in the face. Knocks out my tooth, goes flying, all cut up, and I was like in shock, and he was in tears, crying, felt so bad that he did that to me, there for me. To this day, Mom and Dad, he came home and said, I lost in basketball. I was actually winning, made the final shot, and the guy hit me for it. So, try to cover up. Last thing I want to say, category, things that you might not know about Todd. First, he's a complete 80s fan. 80s music galore. So hopefully tonight there'll be some 80s music. You can see him really dance. If you're not aware, Meatloaf is an older band. Out there. There was a concert that came into town. No one wanted to go with him. None of his friends, neither my mother. So my mom paid me to go with him to go check it out. Well, we started heading there. Next thing you know, we went on the wrong highway. We're heading to Iowa, and we realized we were going the wrong direction. All I kept hearing Todd say, we're going to miss it. We're going to miss the opening act. So we turn around. We're kind of speeding, trying to get there on time. We get there. We're one of the youngest people there. And all I can see is Todd screaming and jumping up and down, oh my God, it's Meatloaf, it's Meatloaf. And I got my hands over my head and saying, is it almost over? So, Todd also might look like the innocent boy, never got into trouble, but I still remember at times when we'd go out of town, my parents were out of town, I went out of town, I'd come back and I'd hear from all these guys about this huge, great party that my brother had. And I was like, how did you have a party and I wasn't here? He goes, I know you better, you would tell on me. So, I didn't, but I'm telling you right now, he threw parties. Also, last thing too about him, make sure, Jenny, when you go gambling with him, if he wins, keep an eye on him. All those guys went to Las Vegas for a good time, and he doesn't usually like to gamble, but he decided to do craps. Well, he ended up winning big. His face lit up like there was no tomorrow. He was buying everyone drinks. I think he gave me like $25 bill, giving away money, throwing it everywhere. He couldn't even stand up straight, so my friend Andrew was over there, actually held his hand and carried him to his room. We get back to the hotel room. There's my brother, sprawled out, not in boxers, not in boxer briefs, but tighty-whities. You don't know what it is? It basically looks like a G-string, and he's like passed out like this, trying to take care of him. Also, he's had a lot of great jobs, done a lot of great things. I'm sure he's told you he's been VP of some company, director of another. He also worked at Super Just Games, doing arcade games. Well, he wanted to get promoted, so he thought the boss's daughter was pretty cute. So he kept trying to ask her out and seeing if she would date him. Did you ever get that promotion? I don't know. Anyway, he's a great guy, absolutely means everything to the world to me. Jenny, I met you the first couple times when you went on dates with him. Right away, I knew you guys would spark. I mean, when you guys had so much in common, and what I've learned from you, you're just absolutely beautiful and terrific. And I hope over the years we can continue to grow, and you guys will love each other as much as you do today, and continue to keep it going. So at this time, I'd like to do a toast to the two of them, and to everybody here for this great, wonderful occasion. Thank you.
While we are here to celebrate Jenny and Todd as a couple, together in marriage, I have to point out the obvious reason for why their marriage is going to be so blissful. You are each remarkable people of your own accord. And as you maneuver down this path as a couple, I hope that you will always remember to be true to each other. But equally as important, to be true to yourselves. For it is only when you're true to yourselves that you can truly grow strong as partners. Khalil Gibran put it far more eloquently than I when he wrote, "Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Rather, let it be a moving ocean between the shores of your souls. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping. For the hand of life can only contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near. For the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow." And so let us raise our glasses in honor of Jenny and Todd. May you help each other to become better versions of yourselves for the rest of your days. L'chaim.
Thank you, Liz. Very well.
No, that was good. You either had to lower that or get me a chair. So, I gotta follow that. So, there's really not a whole lot more you can say, or as eloquently as that was put. But, Todd, the only thing I guess I can say to you, since Matt didn't say it, is when I married Michelle, I had 3 guys all over 6 feet stand up here and go, "That's my sister." So, that's my niece. Watch yourself. That's what I said. But, Jen, you know, I've been in this crazy family for 20 years now, and it's been a lot of fun. They're a great family, and Todd, welcome to it. And you know, last I think back to a wedding was mine, was the last one, and that was 14 years ago. So it's hard to believe that you're on that side of the table now. But you make a beautiful bride. You found a great man. We've had a lot of good conversations. We have a lot of things in common, cars and things. So we have a lot of good talks. So I wish you the best. Just do well. And like Liz said, respect each other. Keep the lines of communication open, and everything will go fine. So, l'chaim.
Thank you, David. At this time, Todd, would you escort your lovely wife, Jennifer,